When I first met Ari, we were in Israel on Birthright, and at the beginning of the trip, everyone was looking for someone to hook up with that they could hook up with for the remainder of the trip. And I unfortunately hooked up with a girl that I had a previous fling with in College Park, and she was nowhere near as attractive as Ari. So I was feeling disappointed and down on myself. And fortunately, I was told by Tofriger Zuliger Freeman and Tal Heckman, the Israeli soldier on our trip, that Ariana thought I was attractive and might give me a chance and hook up with me. So I was very excited about that. She was way better looking than the person I previously hooked up with. And I think I recall the first conversation on the trip was we were on the coach bus and she was sitting in the row behind me, and I did one of those weird things where I turned my head back and was facing her in between the seats right in front of her. And I think for the remainder of that bus ride, we were talking the whole time, and she was beautiful. And fortunately, it all worked out from there. There are two first dates that Ariana might be thinking of. The first one was on that same Birthright trip when we were in some random ass city in Israel. I couldn't even name you it because it's not that cool. And we took a romantic walk on the beach. We brought a bottle of wine, and it was really nice. We just spoke and kissed a little bit. And I don't even know if we might have not hooked up by that point. I don't know, but it was still okay. Now I remember at the end of the date, while walking on the beach, we walked back to the hotel and we get to the lobby, and we had not yet kissed by that point. And, as a shy, nervous kid, I was not good with making the first move. And we said goodbye, we hugged in the lobby, and we walked away without kissing. And I know she was dumbfounded. She was like, why didn't he make the move? And I hope she knows it's because I lacked confidence, but I should have done it at that point. That's the first date she could be thinking of. The second one is the first date since we started being official and dating. And that was in New York, and it was a double date with my friend Jared and his previous girlfriend on Bell Boulevard in Bayside, and we got pizza, and then we went to a rooftop bar, and that was a very nice evening as well. So after our first date in Israel on the beach, when I didn't kiss her in the lobby, and I was mad at myself for not doing that, she was like, I don't know if this guy likes me, he didn't make the first move. So that was unfortunate. But then either the next night or a few nights later, we went out on Ben Yehuda Street in Jerusalem, and it was a wild night. I remember we were all pre-gaming and going to different bars, and I remember being on the dance floor with her, and we were dancing, and we looked at each other, and she just grabbed me and pulled me in, and we made out, and it was pretty nice. And yeah, I'm sorry to say that again, she had to make the first move, but it was a great kiss, and all the stars aligned that night. What was the first movie that me and Ari watched? So, I have to change our first date answer because now that I think of it, one of the first dates we went on while I was living in Baltimore and she was living in College Park, we went to see the Star Wars movie, and that was definitely the first movie we've ever seen. She was pissed off at me that night. I don't even think we were dating yet. We were, but we knew that we wanted to date at some point. So these are one of, the feeler nights. And I had a work holiday party that night, but I decided not to go so me and Ari could go to the movies. And we went and I picked her up in College Park, and we went and watched Star Wars. And I don't care about Star Wars. She doesn't care about Star Wars, so she was a little confused why I picked that. I don't know why I picked that. Probably would have picked a different movie in retrospect. And then at the end of the night, I dropped her back off at the apartment, and she invited me up. We made out in the car for a little bit first, and then she invited me up, and I asked what the parking situation was, and she could not tell me what the parking situation was. So I thought when she said that she didn't really want me up that bad, and I didn't want to overstep. So I said goodnight, left, drove back to Baltimore. It was a long drive, 45 minutes. And she later told me, she was like, why didn't you come up? Like, I was so mad at you. I was so confused. Why didn't you come up? I thought she didn't want me up. I also was confused about the parking situation. But yeah, sorry for that too. If Ariana says, Walt, they're playing our song, she's probably referring to one of two songs. The first would be La Vie en Rose, which I can't really attempt to sing because most of it's instrumental, and I don't want to try to impersonate Louis Armstrong's voice. Okay, I can. It would be, hold me close and hold me fast, the magic skills you cast, this is Levi and Rose. Okay, and then the second one is easier, is Scenes from an Italian Restaurant by Billy Joel. I always joke that she's the Brenda to my Eddie, except not really because they get a divorce in the end, but that would be like, Brenda and Eddie were still going steady in the summer of 75. Da-da-da-da-ba-da-da-da for the rest of their lives. More of a hit at the Broadway diner. Da-da-da-da. Brenda and Eddie will always know how to survive. Whoa. The things that I do that annoy Ari the most would probably be she gets pissed off when I don't go under the bottom sheet and instead just go under the comforter. She's like, why aren't you using all the sheets? She doesn't like when I turn on the bedroom light at night. She says I should only be using the lamp once it gets past a certain time. And then she doesn't love a lot of my bathroom hygiene. She doesn't like when it's annoying. She doesn't like when I pee with the seat down because it gets pee on the toilet seat. That's obvious. But then she gets annoyed when I leave it up because then if she sits on it, she'll fall in. But I always say, you have to pick one. She doesn't like when I use the restroom with the door open. And besides that, most of my cleanliness probably bothers her too. Ari's most annoying habit, in my opinion, is when she categorically says that she doesn't like something, even though I know for a fact she really likes it, and she just wants to convey an image that she is selective or picky. For example, she always tells people that she doesn't like meat or she doesn't like chicken, even though I know for a fact she likes both of those things. She's like, I don't like meat, she'll tell people, but she likes steak, she likes buffalo chicken, she likes Italian sausages, she likes hot dogs, she likes burgers. But then I'll be like, you clearly like meat if you like all those things. She'll be like, no, but I hate really big chicken breasts and I hate pork and I hate that. But I'm like, fine, so why don't you just say you like meat but you don't like these meats? Why do you have to say categorically I don't like meat? So I think that's a little bit of an absolutist position that she shouldn't take. And yeah, she probably guessed that I would say this. There are many material objects that I do not see Ari being able to live without. Probably most of her face care, moisturizer, all the things she puts on before bed. I don't foresee her living a life without those. Things that smell good. She loves smell, so she always needs to have candles and essential oils and incense and diffusers all around. So she definitely needs those. What else? She just usually has a lot of things on her. She has more use for the material world than I do. I could go with nothing, but she has a lot. What is the first thing that Ari does in the morning? It's hard for me to really say because she almost always wakes up before me, but her alarm will go off. She'll snooze it once or twice, sometimes more, depending on the day. And she'll get up and she'll go to the bathroom and she will close the door and I will hear the Betches podcast or a similar podcast playing, and she'll be in the bathroom for a while. And she doesn't love when I come in and interrupt that. So yeah, it's hard for me to really tell what she's doing. I imagine she's doing some sort of face routine and listening to her podcast. Probably, I don't think she meditates in the morning. She's more of a night meditator, but she does meditate. She'll want me to make sure everyone here knows that she does that. And she needs to have breakfast in the morning. She gets very hangry if she does not have breakfast first thing in the morning. And when I say very hangry first thing in the morning, I mean that she will be in a bad mood when we are en route to get breakfast in the morning because it is not there soon enough. So that's just something I would also like to note. And she has a big vitamin routine in the morning. She always needs, her fish oils, her vitamin D, vitamin C, ashwagandha, and she needs to have orange juice in the morning. She's not happy if she doesn't have orange juice. And yeah. What is our favorite meal to have together? So that depends on a few things. If we're going out to dinner, we'd both probably agree that we enjoy getting ramen together. We really enjoy the experience. We always rate the ramen places, say which is the best. If we're going out for breakfast, we love to get breakfast sandwiches, come back, go, wake up in the morning, go get breakfast sandwiches, bring them back, and eat them while watching either SNL or Seth Meyers. In terms of cooking, we do cook a lot. Well, she cooks, I'm her sous chef. And, you know, we have a lot of dishes that we make. We will have Mediterranean night, which usually will entail some sort of meat. See, earlier she said she doesn't like meat. She does. We'll have sometimes with that, we'll have chicken or lamb or, you know, any kind of meat really. And then the side dish will be Israeli couscous, not the small ball couscous, the bigger ones, with usually some sort of Greek yogurt dip. The Trader Joe's everything but the yogurt dip we really like, or any kind of tzatziki, and then usually roasted eggplant. That's our Mediterranean night. We also, our vegan curry night is we'll make seitan with the Trader Joe's red curry sauce, usually over white rice. Ari puts the white rice in the rice cooker, and instead of boiling it in water, she boils it in coconut milk. That makes it come out very good. It's advice for everyone, you know, put coconut milk when you're making rice. And we make pizza sometimes, homemade pizza. Ari's very good at that. I would say she mastered the art of making pizza. She'll get fancy tomato sauce and basil leaves and fresh mozzarella and do a very good job there. And yeah, that's it. What song does Ari sing in the car or shower? There are probably two. The first one is a song called What's Up by some weird girl band. I don't know the name of the band, but it starts with the chorus is like, I cry sometimes when I wake up and yeah, I don't know the words. The song's not so great. Her other song, better song, she discovered it from the Licorice Pizza soundtrack. Movie not so great, song is good. Life on Mars by David Bowie. I actually can't sing it. I don't know enough of the words. There's one line where it's like, look at those gay men go. So yeah, that's a good line from the song. Don't know any other. Yeah, those are it. That's it. In 15 years, how many kids will we have? See, that depends. I know the ideal amount is 2, maybe 3. 2 most likely, 1 boy, 1 girl. If for some reason both of those children are boys or both of those children are girls, then we will probably go for a 3rd to make sure, you know, we have some gender equity in our household. And yeah, 4 would be a lot. If the 3rd child ends up also being the same gender, which happens, will we go for a 4th? At that point, I'd probably want to adopt, make sure we get a different gender through adoption. Where would we want to adopt from? I wouldn't mind having a Samoan child because Samoans are big, so it'd be cool to have a large athlete. But, you know, if that 4th child is a girl, because we had 3 boys, so we adopt a 4th girl, then background of the child, not as important, but, you know, it'd be cool to adopt an Asian child or from South America maybe, or maybe Africa. Yeah, no preference. I take it back. We'll adopt anyone. Doesn't matter as long as, you know, we're going for the gender parity.